Hello, hello. Hello, Elva. How are you? Hi, Jessie. How was everyone? There's my girl, Rhonda. Hello. Senorita Sandman. Hello. Tia. Love it. And Lester liked my live. So thank you, Lester. How is everyone? Man, this must update slow sometimes. How is everyone? I don't want to miss anybody. Hi. I had a last minute someone rescheduled, and I'm like, okay, let's take this opportunity. I don't often get these free moments, especially around this time. I'm going to do a live. So I got to be mindful of the time because I do have another call. Thank you. I saw that little heart. Thank you very much. I see Limitless Queen Batch. Thank you. There is a lag in the comments. Well, that makes sense. Heather, thank you. What is that? Is that a little dinosaur? Oh my God. Tiny. How cute. Hi, Queen. Love your new YouTube video. I cried with you. Oh, Jess. I'm sorry. I put that warning in the middle, in the beginning of the video because I got a little emotion. It's because I care. I care very deeply. I want everyone to get their shit. Literally. You know? How can I manifest a non-specific lover? Oh, easy peasy. You need to ask yourself, first of all, who do you really believe you are in love, in relationships? What are your beliefs around both love and relationships? And also, whatever gender you are into, you want to know if there's any existing beliefs. So for example, let's pretend that you're into men like I'm into men. Any of your generalized beliefs around men matter. So for instance, what if you have a belief that, all men of a certain age are players? Well, if that just happens to also be the type of man that you're into, yes, that belief matters. So you're going to decide that you don't have those beliefs anymore. That's who you are now. And you're going to start identifying as a new self. And by identifying, you're really claiming that that's who you are now. You can do it through affirming, visualizing, scripting. And what I did way back when, I made a list. I made a list of what I'm attracted to, what I want to experience in a relationship, what qualities, all things, even if they're a little shallow, like appearance, put it on your list, right? So if you're someone that normally, like I said, I'm just using the example of that you're into men because I'm into men. If you like men who are tall, or at least taller than yourself, put it on that list. So be as specific as you want and what you're looking for, and then you start identifying as that new self. You're the self that's in the most, loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. I always say that. That's like, it just comes right out. That's how I describe mine. And I started telling, this is what I did. I started telling myself that that's who I am. I am the version of myself that is in the most loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. I don't have any limited beliefs around love, around relationships, around men. I don't have any limiting beliefs. That's an old self. That's not who I am anymore. And I know that can sound really simplistic, almost like too easy, but it works. And yes, you can do that. You can just start deciding that you are now that self. And you're able to do that based off of who you really are. Who you really are is consciousness, pure, unadulterated consciousness. So start telling yourself that you are the new self that is in the most, loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. It'll work. How many people have manifested an SP? Are you asking the peeps in the comments, or are you asking me? Listen, I am in the awareness that before knowing manifestation, I'm sure you never really put it into question the people that are already in your life. But you're manifesting all the damn time. So really everyone has manifested. Anytime that, let's say, all right, we'll just use like the high school sweetheart scenario. Like, say you're finally in a relationship with your high school sweetheart before you knew manifestation. You manifested that. And maybe not specific at first, but let's say that relationship, I don't know, you guys break up and we're all brokenhearted over it and we want our person back. You don't know about manifestation yet. And you're in that mindset that you hope, you wish, you hope you get back together, but you don't know about manifestation yet. You still have that hope, but you go about living life, not really hyper focusing on it, but you're walking around with a broken heart. And then boom, suddenly they came back. That was you manifesting that specific person. So if you want to use me as the example, I didn't know about conscious manifestation until I was 38. Didn't really start taking it serious or even applying it in my life till my 40s. Okay, I'm 49. If I take the time to look back through all my relationships, and if we broke up and eventually got back together, that was me manifesting specifically. So you've been doing it your whole life. I was doing it my whole life. We just weren't in the awareness, so it was unconscious. See what I'm saying? Thank you, BU. You are my new best friend. You can keep saying things like that to me. I prefer it. Yeah, I am 49. Thank you, Nay. You're also my new best friend. Thank you. When am I 50? I am 50 next May. May 19th is my birthday. Tia, no, I haven't. And I must confess, I'm so fucking picky. I'm so picky. And I change my mind too much. So I should reword this. Have homes manifested? Yes. And then I change my mind. And then I think I want something different. So it helps to be specific. 1 minute I want just a one story. I don't know. I think they're called ranches. Just a one story. And then I think maybe I do want the 2 stories. And I go back and fucking forth. So yes, whenever I'm like, no, I think I want a 1 story. Yeah. Did more than one show up for me? Yes. But did I second guess myself and think, And I took that as, okay, if I'm not instantly in love with this, I'm not doing it. Right? So let's not call them that they manifested. Let's call them BBLs to the manifestation. It's called BBL instead. But no. I need to make my mind up over what I want. That's what I need to do. What? I'm blogging. Haha. I'm so on the same. Good. Passionately, Taylor Marie. Good. I messed up with, whoa. Oh, Goddess, you are so sweet. You have changed my life. You did it though. It's you doing it. It's you making the change. It's you making those decisions. So you give yourself the credit. But Goddess, just so you know, I do see you. I see your comments and I do appreciate you. Just so you know that. I might not have the time to answer every damn thing, every damn comment, but I do read them. And I see your name and I appreciate you. I really do. Okay, so I messed up with my fear of abandonment and I transmitted him a horrible feeling. Now I want him back. Okay, first of all, we do not beat ourselves up. Okay, you have not messed up. Don't even talk about yourself like that. We do not beat ourselves up. Okay, I get it. Sometimes, I talk sarcastic, especially about myself and self-deprecating. That used to be my way of masking my own internal fuckery. But, now we can make jokes, we can have fun, but don't you beat yourself up. You have not messed up anything. All right. So you're in the awareness that I'm going to talk past tense, you had a fear of abandonment, but you're going to choose differently now. You're going to choose that that's not who you are. So you're going to ask yourself if there are any other lingering limited beliefs around love and relationships. Obviously, we know the fear of abandonment was there, but if there's anything else, because let's get this done. Let's do this as a one and done, right? Ask yourself, how you feel, what you believe, what you think you can manifest in love, in relationships with your person. And do you have any, unfavorable beliefs regarding your person? And if so, we're going to choose differently. And you're going to start identifying as the version of self who has your person back. And you don't have a fear of abandonment anymore. You're not making that choice. And if thoughts come up that still align with that old thinking, you just remind yourself that there's nothing to be afraid of. We don't have to fear our thoughts. You're making a new decision, so that thought clearly does not belong to you anymore. It's just a thought vehicle to another reality. And start identifying as the you that's in the loving relationship with your person. You'll get him back, but don't beat yourself up for what manifested. How is he going to feel my switch? Because every single one of us is connected through consciousness, because that's who we really are. We're pure, unadulterated consciousness. Every single one of us. So let's use the example of when we're manifesting a specific person. They get your thoughts, we call it through thought transmission, but it's not like you're transmuting it from body to body. It's from consciousness to consciousness. And because we're all connected to the one consciousness, think of consciousness itself like an octopus. So like the part where the octopus has its eyes, that's the absolute, the fullness of all consciousness. And each little octopus leg is one of us. Each one. So it would have an infinite octopus legs. But that's what this is, okay? So it's through that you are thought transmuting to your person. Thank you very much, Goddess. And I know I missed somebody else just sent one too. Thank you very much. So how does he or she feel the switch? When you start identifying as new self, and for anybody that's new, identifying, all I mean is you start really thinking and believing that you are this new self. And you can do that through affirming, visualizing, scripting. You can do inner conversations with your person and with anyone, honestly. When you make the decision to be a new self, that switch is instant. It's instant. Your 3D might not look like it's instant. So don't panic if nothing changes immediately. It will. But the decision, that change of state is instant. And when I say state is just another thing or another word for version of self. So let's say that you're thinking about him, obviously, we'll say right now, and you're thinking favorably. You're thinking, yes, I can absolutely see us being back together. Of course I can. I know he's in love with me. I know he wants to be with me. Of course he does, right? Because I am the version of self that absolutely knows that I'm worthy and deserving of love. And I am the version of myself that has only ever experienced love, being wanted, desired, pursued, right? It's more than just I'm chosen. Yes, of course I'm chosen, because I'm the version of myself that has never been let down in love, right? We're stepping into a version of ourselves that didn't have the shit experiences that the other version of ourselves did, right? That's how we're letting go of the beliefs. So when you're sitting and thinking about him in that context, love, being together, that's the thoughts going to him. Now, it might not be the exact word for word thought, although I'm not going to lie to you, I have personally experienced that word for word, but it's the context of what you're thinking. So, for example, he might get a thought of, oh my God, I think I'm still in love with her. I think I want her. I want her back. What are we doing? This is so stupid. We should be together. And then let's say a few minutes later, you get the thought of, oh my God, what have I done? I messed up. I ruined this relationship with my fear of abandonment. I ruined it. What have I done? He doesn't love me. He doesn't want to be with me. He's probably moved on. Well, he gets the context. So kind of think of this as a phone. When you were thinking favorable, he picked up that phone and he's considering, he's actually not considering, he's already starting to write a little message to you. And then you go back to shit thinking. And this is probably what it looks like. Like, oh no, I am not calling that bitch. Not happening. Nope. I'm not going through that again. I'm going to try another love. I'm going to go try and, meet someone else. It's the context. And it's instant. Just like your change of state is instant. Where people, I think, get confused is when the 3D does not appear to change instantly. And I want you to know that I am not trying to imply that it is not possible for an instant manifestation, because instant manifestations are a very real thing. Just want to make that clear. But when it doesn't appear like it's an instant manifestation, I think that's where the fear comes in, like it's not working. This isn't working. He's not contacting me. He doesn't want to be with me. No. Return to your decision to be new self. It will happen. There will be a connection. You will be reunited, but you keep returning to your decision. And it doesn't matter how long you sit in that state of consciousness. What matters is how often you return to it. Because we are humans. We're going to have human moments. We may fall out of that state. And for what it's worth, we shift through states all day long. So it's perfectly normal to fall out. Return. What matters is you returning. So that's essentially, that's my example of what it's like, the thought transmission. Yes, Bryn, reunited, and it feels so good. Kim, a BBL told me he loved me and asked me to be his girlfriend on the first date, but I want SP. Why does this happen? Because you have no resistance to the BBL. Listen, don't be me. Don't be me for a minute here, okay? Because I was the dumb bitch who used to get pissed at the BBLs. And I didn't see them as BBLs. I saw them as annoyance. Like, why is this happening? This isn't what I want. I want it from SP. I don't want it from this person. Or like in a money manifestation. Why is $100 coming in when I'm manifesting 50K? What am I going to do with $100? Nothing. So I would get mad at the BBLs. Instead of realizing, this is happening as validation to my change in consciousness. This is good. It's actually a good thing. And it does not imply in any way, because this is what I used to fear. It does not imply that your actual full manifestation isn't coming. It's not. It's quite the opposite. And, as Neville said, I don't think this is a direct quote. I don't remember his word for word, but, signs follow the manifestation. So like BBLs, things like that. They follow your manifestation. But we forget that because the logical side of us starts coming in. Like, what do you mean it comes after? I haven't got my manifestation yet, Kim. What do you mean after? It means the being solidified in consciousness, meaning it's the moment you make a decision that you want a desire, it's done. It's done. It's yours. Like the ball started rolling. So BBLs are a great thing. Let's celebrate them. Granted, we never want to be the ones out there searching for BBLs. Am I getting any signs today? We're not trying to manifest that shit. We're manifesting the full manifestation, right? So celebrate the BBLs, but don't go looking for them. And also to anyone out there who is not receiving BBLs, or at least you are perceiving that you're not getting BBLs, do not panic. I myself have had manifestations come in and had no BBLs to them. Keeping it real, maybe I didn't notice them, but I have had things manifest and I never had BBLs to it. Just saying. So don't panic. That doesn't mean there's something wrong. Yes, Persephone. Stephery. I recognize your username. Are you over on my YouTube too? I think you are. I recognize that. So do we focus on ourselves? Well, yeah, we should be our number one. We should be our number one. That doesn't mean you can't focus on SP. That's not what I mean. Or whatever. Thank you, Bryn. It's her first gift to me. Thank you so much. I was going to say, Bryn, this chat It goes by too fast, so I can't read word for word. All right, Bryn? So don't go correcting me here, because I won't get it. Bryn loves to tease me. She's in my membership group, and if I say something incorrectly, she will send me a sarcastic little chat correcting me. And the other night in the Zoom meeting, I couldn't find this because I wanted to give her that emoji back. I love Bryn. Kim, your Tuesday group is off the damn chain. Thank you, Eric. Eric going global. Yes. Thank you very much. I love it. Tuesday is the Zhuzh group. It's the Zhuzh group. It's where we, share successes and things like that. It's a good group. Tomorrow morning, Friday, is the hot seat group. They're both good groups, but, that Tuesday group, it's inspiring when you hear other people getting things that maybe you yourself are manifesting. So thank you, Eric. It is off the chain. How to not get caught up on tiny circumstances like fights, SP not getting me flowers, etc. Okay, Well, that's the beauty of us being human. And this is why I try to make it as clear as possible in my content that on one hand, yeah, we don't want to be overreacting in the 3D every damn day, but let's keep it real. We are humans, and we're going to have moments where we react emotionally. It's going to happen. So we don't have to fear them. We don't have to assume that we've messed anything up. We just need to get back to our decision of who we want to be, right? So it's not so much that you have to ignore every single thing that you're experiencing, right? I know that little word ignore or ignore the 3D, that phrase gets thrown around a lot. We don't have to pretend things aren't happening in our face in the 3D. So number one, how to not get caught up in it. So maybe you're at a place where you are sick of reacting, blah, blah, blah. If that's the case, try to remind yourself. Remind yourself in those moments that this is a manifestation of my old self. That's all this is. That's the only reason why, maybe SP is showing up not the way you want today. It's old self. It's an old self manifestation. 3D is old, right? 3D is, as Neville worded it, the circumstances or conditions or the 3D itself is the manifestation of, oh God, I forgot his exact phrase, but it's something of forgotten states. So in other words, former self, former thoughts, former states, right? Because we're always manifesting from our state. But I forgot how he worded it. It was something like that. But it means basically what I'm summarizing, that your 3D is past. It is old news. That's why I call it the 1976 weather report. It's like being upset with the weather report from 1976 and it's 2023. That's kind of the idea. So remind yourself in those moments that this is old. This is old. I know who I'm choosing to be. I'm not going to allow the 3D to tell me who I am, blah, blah, blah. When you find yourself, though, not necessarily reacting to things in the 3D, like maybe you don't notice it in the minute, but let's say maybe an hour or two later, you're like, oh my God, I didn't even react. I didn't even go off like I would have, a month ago, 2 months ago. I didn't even react. That's evidence of your change. That's evidence of your shift. It's a good thing. But don't beat yourself up if you do react. I keep it really real. Okay? And I know that not every other manifestation coach agrees with my mindset, but I don't care. And I'm keeping it real because we have to survive and live in the 3D. And it is ridiculous to think that we're never going to have a bad day or that we're never going to have a day where, yeah, maybe our SPs piss us off or we have a reaction. And to make, to imply that we have to sit here and take shit just because it's in the 3D and because we're manifesting, or living in fear, like, oh my God, I can't react. I can't do it. I'm a bad manifester if I emotionally react to something in my 3D. right? I'm bad. No, I'm not. I'm a human. So I'm 100%, Brittany knows me outside of this stuff. So Brittany knows I am keeping it 100 here, that if I'm upset at something in my 3D, I allow myself to respond. Do I respond to everything? No. But if some emotions are stirring, I might respond. More likely I will. However, the difference between who I used to be, right, old self, versus this new self is I'm in full awareness of what's happening as it's happening. So yeah, I'm aware it's a manifestation of old self. I'm aware of that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to take everybody's shit either. Just because I'm manifesting, right? And I really do live my life that way. I really do stand by that. So I'm not saying that to make you feel better. I'm saying that's how I live. If someone upsets me in the 3D, and we'll talk SPs. So if SP upsets me or says something to me in the 3D that I do not like, or I find disrespectful or anything like that, he doesn't talk to me disrespectful. But if, yeah, I respond. Or I will authentically say, I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. That hurts my feelings. And I'm saying it's not always argumentative. It's not always coming from like screaming or something like that. But I authentically own when something is bothering me. Again, not every single time. But if something really stirs me, I know I manifested it. But I'm still going to authentically communicate. Because I'm still living, and so are you. We're still living in the 3D. And a relationship is interactive in more than just, one way, if you know what I'm saying. It's interactive. We're going to have conversations. We should feel safe and secure to always authentically own what we want. And if something pisses us off, I should be able to verbalize that. Once that moment is over, I do return. Thank you, Bryn. I see you blowing up that. Thank you so much. Once that moment is over, and to be honest with you, a lot of times while the moment's happening, in here, I'm reminding myself of who I want to be, and I'm not always perfect. There's moments where I'm clearly responding as we'll say, less than favorable version. It's not me being way, way, way old self, right? I've evolved a lot from her, but doesn't mean I don't ever slip into an unfavorable state. Of course I do. So there's been times where I'm not reminding myself right away, but a lot of times I am right as it's happening, this is not who I am. I am not going to be old self. I am not old self's life. I'm not having it. I am the version of myself who's in the most loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Right? So I'll remind myself in here. It's not like I'm saying it out loud, especially if he's right there. But I don't sweat that at all. And I cannot make that more clear because it bugs me. It is something that bugs me, that this idea that you can never open your mouth in the 3D or you're going to fuck up your manifestation. No, you're not. No, you're not. If you return to your decision to be the self that has your desire, don't you worry, that 3D is going to bring it to you. Stand in conviction of that decision. I stand in conviction with my decision because I used to be the girl that would waver all the damn time. That's who I was at minimum the first 2 years of my manifestation, my law of assumption journey, right? Anytime, anything farted sideways in my 3D, I was reacting, responding. Was that fun? No. Do I ever want to be like her again? No. However, we do not have to be perfect 24/7. That does not ruin manifestations. I know I keep repeating myself, but I think it's a point that needs to be clear. Very clear. You're human. You can have your moments. Just saying. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Once I started focusing more on my state instead of techniques, everything changed so quick. Love your videos. Thank you. Oh, Jeremy, that makes me so happy to hear. Because that's what I experienced too. When I put the focus on the who I was being, and that just means your state or version of self. When I put the main focus on that, oh my God, life changed. Oh my God, did it change? Is it okay to feel sad and not want to do anything? Well, I mean, technically, yes, it is, but I don't want you to feel sad. What's the matter? You know, what's the matter? I don't want you to be sad. Look at Bryn giving a girl gifts. Thank you. Why do we feel sad, my friend? How do we get into a better state? First of all, we don't force ourselves into another. So thank you, Holly. We don't force ourselves into a state. It's not going to happen. We walk, we crawl. That's what I call it. You start asking yourself what if questions or specific questions. Look at Yanni and Jeremy. Thank you. So if you're feeling really sad right now, then maybe, the state of your wish fulfilled seems a million miles away from you. Okay. And Jazz, thank you. Set me fire. Yes. Listen, first and foremost, it is always okay to take a break and not do manifestation techniques. It's always okay to do that. Always. And if we're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, take a break. Take a fucking nap. Take the break. Right? You're not going to mess anything up. You're not pushing your manifestation out further. Take the break until you have, rejudged yourself. Now, as far as getting yourself, out of that sad state or whatever it is you're feeling sad about, go to the state next door. Don't force yourself to try to go all the way to the wish fulfilled if that's not what you're feeling anywhere near. And the state next door is different for everybody, right? So if we're feeling sad, well, what if I was the version of self that felt neutral, that felt just chill? It's Nisa and Bryn, thank you, right? What would it feel like if I just felt calm and neutral right now? What would it feel like? And then start telling yourself you are that self until you get there, until you get calm and neutral. If you ask yourself those what ifs, you're going to see that thoughts that start coming in will be calm, neutral thoughts. It'll be something around you feeling neutral. Now, whatever's got you sad, thoughts on that might come right back. Totally normal. You might fall right back out of the neutral place. Totally normal. But you're going to walk yourself back doing the same thing. What would it feel like if I just felt chilled right now? Chilled out. And again, once you get there, your perception's going to change because your perception always changes with a change of state. And from there, let's go to the next state. All right. If I get to the feeling neutral, calm state, what would it feel like if I felt that manifestation was possible again? What if I started believing that it's possible that I can manifest my desire? Because I'm assuming there's something bugging you about your desire. So what if I can just get to the place of believing it's possible that I can get my desire and go there? And then keep walking or crawling your way through the states. Only you know what the state next door is for you, right? Because only you know what's going on in your mind in the moment. But I want you to know that even I have, thank you, Bryn, thank you, Jeremy, thank you to everyone sending me stuff, to Sandra. Even I have days where I feel sad, and sometimes for no necessarily traumatic, terrible reason. We're humans. We were given our emotions and feelings for a reason. It's because we're going to experience them. And I'm not saying that so, to have you expect life to suck. I don't mean it like that. But I'm saying you don't have to be afraid to express what you're feeling. If you're feeling sad and you want to break from manifestation, take that damn break. You're not going to stay in that state. You're not going to stay there. You want to know why you're not going to stay there? Because you have a desire not to stay there. You wouldn't even ask the question if there wasn't just a little bit of a spark that you want out of that. Okay? So crawl to the next door state. I'm so lazy to even be in the state. Oh my God, that's a state. You're in that state. You're in a lazy state. You're always in a state. Whether you think you are or not, we are always in a state. Thank you, guys. She is explaining what to do. Just pay attention. Thank you. Thank you. Bryn, look at you. Thank you so friggin' much. Kim, can you explain what happens to the other person with revision? Yeah, whatever you, I can summarize that quick. Whatever it is you're revising, right? That's their new memory too. Thank you, Desandra. Okay, so I know you probably want me to talk a little bit more about that. I'm teasing you. Okay, so the idea with revision, think of linear time for a minute, right? Even though we know linear time is not real, it's an illusion, right? We just live by it. We 3D peeps live with time, but it's not, it's an illusion. Everything is right now, truthfully. But we'll explain it as if, thank you, Jeremy. If linear time it was real, we all think kind of like in past, present, future, right? So when we're manifesting something, we're kind of looking at it like we're manifesting in the future, even though we're really not, okay? And experiences that we've already experienced are in the past, but they're really not. They're really in the now moment too, okay? But when we want to go back to a past moment in time and we want to change it, right? So we if you're a visualizer, you are, in the moment of the original experience. Let's say we're revising a breakup. So we're going to say that the breakup happened, that SP came to the door and handed you your stuff back and said, I'm done, bitch. I don't want you anymore. We're over. Okay. So we're going to revise that. We're going to revise it to SP came to the door with a bouquet of roses and said, oh my God, girl, you got to marry me. We need to be together forever. I love you so much. I can't get you off of my mind. Okay. We're going to change it to that. Can you imagine, well, like what affirming or, what my imagination is like, it's as dramatic as I talk, just so you know, because it's fun. So you're going to go back to that moment and you're going to see SP, if you're a visualizer, you're seeing SP come to the door, bringing you the roses and begging you, to be with him forever. And you're going to see it like that. You're going to play it. Right? You're going to allow that like a child would be like playing with the Barbies, lighthearted, easy, just playful, right? When you change that memory, it changes for the SP. Now, don't let your logical mind rip this away from you, because logically, usually the next type of question I get is, okay, so then where's my SP? Because they're not here. So it didn't work. Revisions unfold the same way as manifesting forward. Now, here's the thing that I think a lot of us get confused. And keeping it real, I used to be confused with this too, right? My early days of understanding revision. I really looked at it as we go back to that moment and we alter the experience. We're changing the experience. You're changing your memory of the experience. But you're actually not changing. Just hear me out. Don't all panic. You're not changing that original timeline. You're changing your memory of the experience, and therefore you are leaving that timeline. And you are quantum jumping to the timeline where that breakup never happened. You move to the timeline that the breakup never happened, that the coming to the door of the rose and saying, oh, girl, you got to spend the rest of your life with me, please. That happened. So therefore, we look at it as changing SP's experience from that memory too. Not necessarily. You're interacting with a different version of SP. So you hop timelines. So that timeline, that time track where the breakup did happen, that keeps right on going. And you have access to the infinite So, if you wanted to, you could go back to that moment. And if you waver and start marinating on the original memory, you do go back. But you can jump your ass right back over here by sticking to the revision. So you can affirm this too, by the way. This doesn't have to always be the visualization, right? Just Neville Goddard talked a lot with visualization. That was his go-to. You can script this. You can affirm this. Okay. Just saying. Man, I just lost my train of thought. What the hell was I going to say? Oh, the way I teach it is I always just come right out and say, now listen, when we decide to revise, this is a wonderful tool. Okay. When we decide to revise something, that's it. We are divorced from the old memory, the old experience. We are divorced. So our rights to marinate in the original story get taken away from you. You can't marinate in the old story anymore. Because then if we marinate in it, right? We're playing it over again. Did we revise? No. That brings us right back to the timeline we don't want to be in. I'm not telling you that the original experience thought may not just come into your mind. It probably will, but you marinating in it, no more. My way of doing it is when, if and when an old thought pops up of the original experience, you are not going to forget the original experience. What will more than likely happen is it will be muddied. You'll have a muddied memory of it. Okay. Some people, and even from my own experiences, like there's certain details that, completely go away. Like you can't bring them back up in your mind. I've had that experience, and I know, I said some people, but some people that I've coached through revision. And it works, but you gotta allow it to work. Just like you gotta allow your manifestations. And what do I mean by allow? Don't take the word allow as what I was talking about earlier, like take everybody's shit. I don't mean that. I mean, allow the 3D to unfold. So just like, okay, so we're going to go back to revising that breakup, and you hop to the timeline where the breakup never happened. A series of incidents, right? Bridge of incidents will unfold for that memory, for that revised memory, for that revised experience. Just like when you're manifesting for the so-called future, a bridge of incidents will unfold. Listen, even instant manifestations have a bridge of incidents, right? They do. When you think about it, even instant manifestations have a bridge of incidents. The incident of you looking and seeing the instant manifestation is a bridge of incidents. That's a board on that bridge, just saying. So things will unfold to make that revised memory real. That's essentially how revision's working. So does that help? I hope that helps. Thank you so much. All it says is user with a series of numbers, but this live is so amazing. She explains it so well. Thank you. I have all these new best friends on here. I am loving this. I am glad it is helpful. Yes. And I tried to explain it in a way I wish it had been explained to me when I started my journey. But when I started my law of assumption journey, there were no law of assumption channels yet. So that sucked. There was only law of attraction channels, which did suck. Bryn, see what I warned you about, Bryn. It's like you do this for a living. Because she knows that I do it for a living. She's a little sarcastic little shit. I revised my past by changing the perspective on some memories and attaching new meaning to them. Nice. Nice. Thank you so much, Ashley. Your content 100. Kim, you should do a Christmas free coaching call for someone random. Are you trying to drop me a hint, Atalia? And are you hoping that you're that someone who's random? You want to know something? I shit you not. Probably, we'll say 3 hours ago. That's exactly what me and my boyfriend were talking about. But I haven't decided the what yet, but doing something for Christmas because I'm a Christmas person. for my channels. Yes, something along those lines. I view the past with SP as my bridge of incidents, ultimately leading to committed relationship. Yes, Haley, good. Very good. My SP is showing up. Love that. Everest, the happy Newfie? Lovely. I tell you, I've been affirming a coaching call with you. Love it. Well, you just might get that. You just might. I've lived, wait, oh my God, folks, this is proof that we can manifest anything. Yes, Rhonda. Hell yes. I've lived my entire life in my imagination, so now it feels weird to know that imagination creates. Oh, I love that you've lived your entire life in your imagination. Let me just ask you something. Are you saying that because, well, I've lived my whole life in my imagination and things didn't manifest? Are you saying it like that? Or are you saying it like, oh my God, I've been a master manifester, oh my God, my whole life? Which way are you saying it? Because I will say to you that, first of all, in case y'all didn't know, when I started my journey, I was Mrs. Logical. I was married to logic. And I was very skeptical over manifestation. I was very skeptical. I did not believe. I thought that, was totally like tomfoolery, poppycock. I did not think that this was all possible. Manifesting people, manifesting money, none of that. And if you had known me way back when, you would have known that I always had an interest in things outside of just like regular religion, right? I was raised Catholic, but outside of that, like I was always dabbling, but in the dabbling, I was hopeful that there was something magical out there, but I did not believe. And, I don't know. It's just life-changing. Just life-changing. But I'm not going to lie to you. I just totally lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was starting to say. So it'll probably come back to me in a minute here. It's my account for my dog, Everest. He's in Newfoundland. Oh, okay. Thank you for making that make sense for me. And I would like to see your doggy. I love animals. I love them. My person removed me everywhere. So, no, let me say it like this. I know that might hurt you or might have you a little scared, but I mean it. So, don't you worry. Who are you choosing to be? Being blocked everywhere still doesn't mean you're not going to get your manifestation. I know it feels very real, very permanent, a little scary. It's not. It's a manifestation of the previous version of you. Bryn, you are just, she's making up for all her correcting me sarcasm. She's making up for it. I appreciate you, Bryn, my God. But, all right, so you were removed everywhere. Who were you being? Think about it. Think about it before you manifested being blocked. Where was your mind? Where was your thinking? I'm only asking you this so that you can see how you did that. You manifested that. Not as a bad thing, right? I don't mean it like as in rubbing it in your face. I don't mean it like that. I'm saying, do you see how it was your own consciousness that manifested that? So now let's change. Let's change who we're choosing to be. So that same powerful consciousness of yours can manifest having get this person right on back, being unblocked everywhere and having them contact you. Nothing and no one can get in the way of your manifestation. Nothing and no one. Okay? Nothing and no one. I really, really mean that. So don't be scared. Don't think it's like forever. I can't tell you how many people have asked me similar questions, about being blocked and in panic mode that they got blocked and it hurt their feelings and fucking got unblocked. Got unblocked and got their person. So don't you worry about that. Who are you being? Who were you being? Right? Are you Are you someone that maybe didn't feel good enough or didn't feel like a priority? In my opinion, not a priority and not chosen are both connected to not good enough. Were you fearing that they would block you or stop talking to you or leaving you? Fear of abandonment. So whatever you were believing about you, about love, about relationships, and about your person, let's make sure that there's no limited beliefs there. And you can just make that decision. I don't have any limiting beliefs. I am limitless and flawless. That's who I really am. So therefore, that's what I'm choosing. I'm not going to fear being blocked. Nothing out in the 3D. Nothing out here is anything that we should be afraid of. I know that's easy for me to sit here and say that to you while you're the one living it. I know that. But I'm telling you, this is nothing. This is nothing. Don't let it rock your world. You choose who you want to be. You'll see things change. Yes, I kept saying they'll leave me. See? So there you go. Look at you. You're a master manifester. You manifested that. Okay, now we're just going to use that same ability of yours and put it in the other direction. Okay? And honestly, most people find manifestation while being in a not so favorable place. Realizing that they've been manifesting their entire lives, realizing they've been manifesting from the place of limited beliefs and are experiencing unfavorable things. Most, not all, but most people find manifestation from that place. I certainly did. So this is why I say, don't beat yourself up ever for manifesting something unfavorable. We don't beat ourselves up. It's not about blaming and shaming. It's about realizing, holy shit, I did that. I did that, so I know I can undo that. I can undo anything, and I can bring in my actual dreams, my actual desires. As cuckoo and cliche as it sounds, holy shit, I really can do it. I really can experience anything I want. Holy shit. We've all been conditioned to believe the complete opposite. Every one of us has been conditioned to fear, to doubt, to think our imagination is for kids, right? And I'm not saying this is where we, blame our caregivers or our parents. That's not what I mean. They were conditioned too. They didn't know any better, but now we do. And with just a little change of mindset, a little change of what we believe about ourselves, this changes. This world around us changes. And if you're someone that doubts, I get it. I was a doubter too. I was very logical. I meant that when I said it. Take a look at your damn life. If you doubt and you don't believe this is real, take a look at your own damn life and see if it's a reflection or at least around the same house as where your mind normally is. And you're going to see that your 3D matches your mind. Some, like I said, like around the house of what you typically are focusing on and thinking about, your life matches it, because your subconscious mind is not hiding beliefs from you. It's another thing in this community that I don't like, that it's portrayed that our subconscious is this evil succubus, ruining our lives because of the beliefs it has in it. Well, those beliefs are not hidden from you. Even if you're sitting there watching me right now and you're thinking, but I don't know what beliefs. Yes, you do. Take a look at your life. What are the circumstances you do not like? Those are your unfavorable beliefs. Somewhere, somehow, it's connected to a belief. It's not hidden. We don't have to be afraid. We are so powerful. We just have been conditioned to not believe that. I think manifestation is absolutely magical. I think it's amazing. It's amazing. And if we would not allow our logical mind to take the fun out of it, you can literally be doing, have whatever you want. I really mean that. Really, really mean that. Thank you, Batch. Limitless Queen. I'm so glad you just said that about your subconscious mind hiding things. Well, I'm glad you're glad. It's true, though. I believed that at one time. I believed that my subconscious had, evil beliefs ruining my life. No, they were all right in front of me. And when I finally got my shit together and started deciding that I am limitless, I am not that version of self. Granted, I'm not perfect. I have days just like everybody else. But when I stopped believing that, I got all these things wrong with me, I got to fix everything about me, I suck. When I stopped that kind of thinking and just made a decision that I am just going to tell myself that I am new self. And this is what new self means to me. I made a list. I don't read that list every day. I don't recite the list. I just call it the new self list. Thank you, Jess. And when I started doing that, instead of thinking there's something wrong with me, life changed for the better. We should not think that we have, like there's anything wrong with us. We should not be thinking from that perspective. Ever. We've just been in a habit of being the same limited, conditioned version of ourselves. We're in a habit. Right? Let's look at it this way. I found manifestation when I was 38. So there's 38 years of being a limited version. And I didn't start really applying any of this, let alone understand it all, till early 40s, but really, really understanding it mid 40s. So there's all them years of me being in the habit of a version of self that never felt good enough, never felt pretty or beautiful, always was in here critiquing myself. I'm not going to say all the things that I said to myself because the last time I tried to share that, my life got shut down. So I'm not going to verbalize them, but you can imagine what they are, ugly, fat, things like that, over and over and over and over again. And anytime a relationship failed, well, it's because you're too fat, right? But I'm saying I would say all these things to myself in here. So a lifetime of being in the habit of being a version of myself that essentially hated herself. Over and over every day, living as that version, hating life, hating myself, blah, blah, blah. And then after just a little bit of time, and I don't mean a long time, I don't mean another year, I mean after just a little bit of time of me telling myself who I want to be, what I want my life to look like, so therefore who I am, things changed, and they changed fast. So manifestation isn't hard. It feels like it's hard sometimes, but 99.99999% of the time when this feels hard, we are either doing way too much, we are stressing ourselves out, maybe overwhelming ourselves, or we're sitting in logical thinking and we're logically interpreting our 3D in those moments every single time. I said 99.999 to be nice. It's really every single time. It's one or the other. And you will notice the connection of when you feel like garbage, when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling angry, when you're feeling any emotion or feeling connected to fear, and anger is connected to fear. You will notice that any time that's happening, you're thinking something logical and literal, or you're interpreting your 3D from logic, from literalism, every single time. So logic's the problem, but yet every single one of us was conditioned to think logically. Like, come on now, get your head out of the clouds, get out of your imagination, be logical. Be serious. You can't just get what you want. Money doesn't grow on trees. Love hurts. Love stinks. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Better to be safe than sorry. Always better to prepare for the worst. We all were conditioned with similar thinking. Stay out of your imagination. That's for kids. And who knew that the entire time it was that sexy little imagination that could change our life if we just allowed ourselves to get in it like a child would. Life-changing. That's all I'm saying. Life-changing. Can you explain inspired action? Yes, I can. Okay. So inspired action. All right. Let me roll back. I get asked about action and inspired action a lot. So I want to make this very clear. I'm going to answer this question, but I stand by what I say all the time. You can't do anything to mess up your manifestation as long as you return to your decision to be new self. So whether we've taken action in the 3D and we are now realizing that it's not inspired action, no worries. It's still going to lead you to your outcome. Just saying. But inspired action is, okay. So the idea is as you begin, your conscious manifestation journey and you're deciding to be new self, that's where your free will went out the door. You've made your decision, your desire. You've made the decision, okay, I want this, or I want to manifest this specific person, or this money, or this, healthy body, or whatever. You made your decision. You have the free will to pick your desire, and you have the free will to be any version of yourself. From there, free will is kind of out the door. Even though we operate as if we have free will, but no, that goes out the door. What I mean by that is because we will receive inspired action. And we may not always know what's inspired until after the fact. And inspired action is generally something that you're not hemming and hawing over. You're not stressing yourself out. So for example, a question that I get a lot is, can I text my SP? I want to contact my SP. And I know, here's another one that bugs me in the community that, and do you hear me constantly saying things? This is what I don't like this in the community. This bugs me in the community. Just, you would think I would get my awareness off of it. So I would stop fucking experiencing it, but I don't. I keep focusing on it. So I keep seeing it. Anyway, as far as like contacting your SP, there may be a time where you do receive inspired action. It will be something you do without even thinking about it. You won't think, oh my God, should I do that? Should I text them? Should I not? You're just going to pick up your phone and hit send. And then what did I just do? No, I'm just kidding. But hold on. There we go. Inspired action from my own experience and just from working with people is, again, it's usually something so simplistic. You don't overthink it. You just do it. And it can be something as simple and stupid as what gas station you prefer to pull over on the way home from work. That could be inspired action. Your SP could be sitting there. It's simplistic, not overthinking. However, I do get asked that question a lot when it comes to SPs. Or, hey, Kim, I felt inspired. I felt inspired to do this, so I did it. Was that inspired action? It could have been, but if you had to hem and haw it, it probably wasn't. However, you didn't ruin your manifestation even if you did it. Even if it wasn't inspired. You didn't ruin anything. So do what you fucking want. But, so inspired action, again, it is not something that when it pops into our mind, we sit and wonder, should I, shouldn't I? It's not something you're nervous about or have anxiety over. You just do it. You just do it. So I hope that helps. But again, I just want to say that this is where Neville talks about everyone plays their part willingly. And meaning everyone plays their part willingly to bring about your manifestation. He spoke about it obviously more than once. And I think one time he said whether it's one person or 100,000. And then I think another time he went all the way up to 1 million. So 1 to 1 million. Whether it takes the whole of the planet, every person on the planet to bring about your manifestation, everyone on the planet will willingly play their part. They won't know why they're making decisions or taking inspired actions. They're willingly doing it. Not having a clue that it's for your manifestation, but they do it. They don't fight it. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's because of consciousness, our connection through consciousness. And because you have the free will to be any version of yourself, you also have the pleasure that when you decide who you are, that's your pleasurable ability to choose any version of anyone you're intermingling with. So, thinking big picture, this is why I say, like, the free will ends after you make your decision of your desire. From there, the orchestration's already been taken care of. And another thing we say in this community, it's done. Your manifestation is done. The moment you thought of it and you decided you wanted it done. And to be honest, it was done already, right? Everything has already been created. That's why I think we need to drop that word. Creating. We're not creating. We're manifesting. Creation's finished. Anything, any version of anyone already exists. Already done. Right? Consciousness has already taken care of that. To get it to our 3D, to have an experience, you just have to get it in your awareness, which is through thought. We're so powerful. We just don't believe we are. But we are. I love this message. I love your name, Danielle Pitbull, because I love pit bulls. Okay? I love them. My baby girl is a pit bull. Just saying. Okay. So when you revise the scene with someone, will it revise the way family views it as well? Anyone. Yes. Anyone. Gina, the medium. Really? Are you because you know Leah, or are you telling everyone to email you or DM you? Okay. All right. Thank you, B. User 59717005399. Kim, you are looking lovely. You are my new best friend. Thank you. Yes, time to stop doubting our power, y'all. Yeah. I got you, mama. That's my girl right there. That's my girl. B. B, manifestation and mindset. What do if feel revising is not working? Thank you. You don't have a name. You got a symbol. That looks like the court weight scales. Thank you. All right. So if revising's not working, I'm saying, I say this nicely. I don't mean this meanly, but that's you doubting. Manifestation works. Revision works. When you think it's not working, because you are the Hbic of your reality. If you don't know what that means, it just means head bitch in charge, or boy, badass, boss, in charge of your reality. Because you're in charge, when you make that decision, like, this isn't working. Okay. The answer is yes, it's not working. Meaning, you are your own universe, or I amness, or God of your reality. We are all made from the same consciousness. Okay? As consciousness that's what I'm talking about, Britt. As consciousness, you are the almighty power of your reality. So when you think something's not working, this is why I say all the time, don't say it's not working. Don't say it's not working. It's always working. You tell yourself it's working. You tell yourself you're doing everything right. You're always making all the right decisions. Even if you doubt that, you tell yourself that. Because therefore, guess what? Everything's working. It really is working. So when you think your revision isn't working, it's not working. It's working. Now, I'm assuming it's because you've looked at your 3D and you've said that, or decided that I don't see any changes. Things are still the same. Okay. Number one, we should not be looking in our 3D to see if the revision took yet. We don't want to do that. Just like we don't check the 3D for our manifestation. We allow it to unfold. Don't worry. We won't miss our own manifestation. We don't need to go searching for it. When we're searching for it, in that moment, you are automatically bumped out of that state, and you're in the state of not having. See what I'm saying? I know that sounds kind of shitty, but that's the truth. So you return to your decision, and no marinating in the original memory that you revised. No marinating in it. And I know you had to have marinated in it in order to make the decision that it didn't work. Now, I'm not picking on you, honey, because we all have our doubtful thoughts. Everyone does. And anybody says they don't, they are lying. Everyone has their moments, okay? Return to your decision and stand in your revised memory too, okay? Yes, I do. Thank you, Britt. Britt, reading my mind. I got 1 minute to my call, so I'm going to go now. Right? 5:15. Okay. So, thank you all so much for being here with me tonight. And I do plan on like keeping this recording, and I will upload it to the YouTubes at some point. Thank you all so much for being here. I have thoroughly enjoyed this, and I will do my best to come back. Okay? I love you all. Don't be scared of things in the 3D. Don't doubt your manifestation. Choose who you want to be. Decide it. Decide to be the version of you that has what you want. You keep returning to that despite what's going on out here in the 3D. It'll come. It's real. It works. All right. Kim Plummer, you're my new best friend. You're amazing. All right. I love you all. I'll see you all. Let's make sure I end this right so I don't lose it. Oh, wait, really quick. Were you guys here the day that I went live and then I had to come back again the very next day? And I told you, I'm like, oh my guys, I ended the live wrong and it didn't save, blah, blah, blah. Do you remember that? B, do you remember that? Because B, I remember B putting in the, what do you call it? In the chat that, decide that it works. It's going to be there. Everything will be all right. She said that and I think, right? Guess what? It totally saved. It totally saved. It ends abruptly because I ended it wrong, but it did save. I do have it and I am putting it on my YouTubes. Yeah, I tell you. I'm not going to lie and tell you I put a bunch of effort into it. I didn't. I just said, all right, it's going to save. It'll be there. That's all I said. I just let it go. But yeah, it worked. It worked. So, all right. On that note, I better go. Trying to end it right. Let's see. Did that? Yeah, it worked.